Hi guys, ZenX here, bringing you a quick tutorial on how to do the pixelated background effect. Now a lot of people have been asking me to do this tutorial, and I thought why not share. So this effect can be seen in a few of my backgrounds, such as Jack Frag's background and Realm Reloaded background, and it's a really good effect. It brightens up a design a lot if when used correctly, and I thought it's a good idea to post a video. So I'm starting out with a normal size canvas, 1920 by 1080 pixel size. You can use whatever size you want, and to start out you want to make a new layer. Make sure your primary colors are black and white, and you will go over to the top, click filter, scroll down to render, and then click clouds. And now the reason I use clouds is when I do add a color overlay, it gives a nice variety of shades for that color. So you want to go back up to filter again, go over to Pixelate, and go down to mosaic. Now, I normally stick between the cell size of 15 and 20. It all depends on the size of your canvas. I mean, you don't want it too small where it doesn't stand out, and you don't want it too big where it looks out of resolution. So I'm going to go with 17 for this canvas, because I think that it looks much better. You want to click OK. Now, if you want to add some color to it, you could just go to color overlay, and then just click color, but it can turn out a bit weird. So just cancel that. You want to go disable the visibility of the pixelated layer. I go down to your main background. Now I'm going to make this background black, and then I'm going to go over to my brush and have the size at 1800 and take the hardness down to 0%, and then for this bit you can choose whatever color you want. I'm going to go with red, and I'm going to plonk it in the middle right by there. So you want to go back over to your pixelated layer, enable the visibility again, and click the blended modes, and you want to set it to overlay, or you could do soft light if you wanted to, which kind of deadens it a bit, but I'm going to stay with overlay for this tutorial. And as you can see, that looks really badass. Now you might be thinking, well, the pixelated background I use on my my designs, it looks more defined. The reason is, what I do, I go over to filter and I scroll down to sharpen, and I click sharpen again, and I do this twice. You could do this 3 times if you want, but I think twice is enough. And as you can see, that's a much big difference. The outlines of the squares look much more defined and much more shinier, with a nice glint of bright red, and I think that looks much better overall. Now there is another way to improve this. So if you want to go over to select at the top and click all, or you could do Control A, that selects the whole design of the whole canvas with the dashing white lines. And you want to go over to edit and copy merged, and then just simply press Control V to paste it. Now you want to set this new layer to 50%, and then you want to go back over to filter, scroll down to blur, motion blur, and I stick with the angle of 0%, or 0 degrees, sorry, because that's horizontal blurriness. I think horizontal looks much better than vertical, but don't be fooled. In some cases 90 degrees could be considered as horizontal. It just depends what your designer's settings are at. I'm going to click 0, and I normally stick between the distance of 20 megapixels, 20 pixels, because I think any more than that looks way too much blurred, and any less than that doesn't really look blurred at all. So 20 is a good number, and click OK. And as you can see, you can still see the definition of the pixel layers underneath, but then it also doesn't make it that boring, and it gives it a nice blurred effect. So if I just disable that blurred layer, as you can see, it's a very nice effect, but you can still, the blurriness doesn't overwhelm the definitions of it. So that's pretty much what you do with a pixelated background, guys. So you could just add text to this now. If you wanted it for a thumbnail, ZenX tutorial. And yeah, overall it's a really good effect to use. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And more tutorials on their way. This has been ZenX. Peace.
Take a trip to my